Welcome viewers. This week, two candidates officially joined the Republican presidential field. Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina and Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida. In this video we will break it all down for you. But before we continue, please take a minute of your precious time to hit the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell to get the latest update from us. They joined four other declared candidates. Donald Trump, a former South Carolina governor and UN ambassador Nikki Haley, a former Arkansas governor, Asa Hutchinson, and a businessman, Vivek Ramaswamy. Also, Chris Christie, a former governor of New Jersey, is poised to make another bid for the presidential nomination, and the governor of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin, is reconsidering his decision to take himself out of the race. Governor Doug Burgum of North Dakota, who might make a run, and Trump's former vice president, Mike Pence, continues to act as if he's in the ring. All told, the Republican presidential field might end up almost as large and divided as the one in 2016. Which is to say that the 2024 Republican primary is, at this stage, shaping up to be a retread of the one that catapulted Trump to the commanding heights of the American political system. Once again, it is clear that many Republican elites would prefer to have someone other than Trump at the top of the ticket. But once again, those elites' donors, intellectuals, activists are having a hard time finding a single alternative candidate to challenge the former president. DeSantis was supposed to play that part, but he has struggled to gain a foothold with Republican voters and has shown a tin ear for the challenges of national politics. As of Friday, he is far behind Trump in nearly every major poll of the national Republican primary electorate. If DeSantis continues to recede, other candidates will try to claim his spot as the party's main alternative to Trump. And therein lies the problem. As long as there are multiple candidates vying for this position, Trump has the political space he needs to consolidate his support, which is still much greater than his rivals. What's more, there's no sign that any candidate is ready to truly go on the offensive against the former president and try to render him anathema to Republican voters. Supporters of DeSantis, for example, can point to his credentials and fundraising and conservative record in Florida. But none of that matters unless he is willing and able to make the case against Trump. So far, DeSantis hasn't been. So far, none of the most viable candidates in the Republican presidential field appear to be ready to take that step. You could even say that there are no truly anti-Trump candidates in the Republican primary, just people hoping to take his place in the conservative political imagination. That's why DeSantis has, as part of his campaign rollout, said he will consider pardoning some of the January 6 rioters. Unless any of this changes, we can expect this Republican primary to unfold like the one in 2016, with each candidate doing everything in their power to avoid alienating Trump voters too much in the vain hope that they might capture them once Trump is out of the race. But now as then, there's no reason to think he will leave. Which means that now as then, there's no reason to think Trump will lose. In which case, Gorsuch's denunciation of pandemic restrictions acts as an inadvertent glimpse into his view of the United States. With one notable exception, and it is quite notable, the history of Native Americans, he is willing to ignore or doesn't even see our long peacetime history of repression and internal tyranny. What he seems to see instead is a long history of liberty with some significant exceptions, including our recent experience with the pandemic. My Friday column was on state governments as threats to American freedom rather than defenders of American liberties. That it is states, and specifically state legislatures, that are the vanguard of a repressive turn in American life shouldn't be a surprise. Americans have a long history with various forms of subnational authoritarianism. State and local tyrannies that sustained themselves through exclusion, violence and the political security provided by the federal structure of the American political system. Please, what is your take on this? And remember to subscribe as well. Thanks for watching.